In this video, I'm going to explain the structure of the human respiratory system. The first part is the nose. It is the first organ of the respiratory system through which the air enters the body. Its function, it has mucus layer and hair to filter and abstract dust and microbes before the entering of air to the lungs. It has blood capillaries to warm the air as it passes through. So breathing through nose is preferable to that through the mouth, as inhaling through the mouth causes human infection with many diseases. So you should breathe through the nose, not through the mouth. Next part is the pharynx. It is a common cavity to the esophagus in digestive system and the trachea in respiratory system. So its function is that it connects between two different systems, esophagus in digestive system and trachea in the respiratory system. Next, we have the trachea. So the trachea is a tube supported with incomplete cartilaginous rings. At its top, there are larynx, which is called the voice box, and epiglottis. It has incomplete cartilaginous rings, as you can see the rings in the picture. It's lined with cilia to eject up the strange object that may enter the trachea. So it ejects up strange objects. The larynx, which is the voice box, is responsible for producing the human voice. So this is the trachea. As we said, it consists of larynx and epiglottis. Epiglottis closes off the trachea during swallowing to prevent food from entering the trachea. So it closes the larynx to prevent food from entering the trachea. Next we have the bronchi, which is the two branches that enters the lungs. The two bronchi allow the air to pass in and out the lungs. It's part of the trachea. Next, we have the two lungs. The two lungs occupy the chest cavity. They are surrounded by rib cage, which is bones, to protect the lungs. Each lung contains bronchus, which is divided into bronchioles. And the bronchioles end in tiny air sacs called alveoli. Alveoli, they have thin walls and are surrounded by a network of blood capillaries where the exchange of gases occurs, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases. While the bronchioles, each bronchus is divided into bronchioles, as we said, inside each lung, ending in the alveoli, which is the air sacs we talked about. The function of the two lungs is the gas exchange that happens in them. And we said the gas exchange happens between the oxygen and carbon dioxide gases. Respiration process. It is a process to get oxygen gas from the environment. The respiration process includes two processes, which are inhalation process and exhalation process. When the body is more active, the number of respiration times increases to obtain more energy. So the inhalation process is a process by which air rich in oxygen gas enters the lungs through the nose. As you can see in the picture, the air enters from the nose. The diaphragm muscle contracts and moves down. The ribs move upward. And the chest cavity expands or enlarges where the oxygen gas enters the two lungs through the nose. While the exhalation process is a process by which the air rich in carbon dioxide gas and water vapor expelled out of the lungs through nose, or we can call nasal cavity. The diaphragm relaxes and moves up. The ribs move down and the chest cavity becomes narrow, and the air rich in carbon dioxide gas and water vapor goes out from the two lungs through the nose. So the conclusion of the respiration process is that the exhaled air contains carbon dioxide gas and it contains water vapor, while the inhaled air contains oxygen. But you have to know that the clear lime water is used to detect the presence of carbon dioxide gas. This is how we knew that the carbon dioxide gas came out of our nose. So repeating what we concluded, we can say that the inhalation process takes the oxygen gas, but in the exhalation process we expel carbon dioxide gas and water vapor. Okay, so there is an exchange between these two gases and we have to know where that happens. It happens in the alveoli, or it happens by the alveoli, where the air existing in alveoli and the blood in the blood capillaries through their thin walls. So the air or the oxygen gas and carbon dioxide gas are transferred by the blood in the blood capillaries. So let's see what happens exactly. First, the carbon dioxide gas is out from the blood, where the blood leaves carbon dioxide gas produced from the burning of food to be ejected out of the lungs. This happens in the exhalation process. So burning of food produces carbon dioxide and the carbon dioxide is expelled out in the exhalation process. But the oxygen gas is in, which means that the blood carries oxygen gas that we get during the inhalation process and distributes it all over the cells. This is why we need oxygen and not carbon dioxide, and thank God lungs help us to eject carbon dioxide. How can you keep the respiratory system healthy? You have to avoid being in crowded or poor ventilation places. And also, you have to keep off the severe cold. You have to warm yourself. Eat fruits rich in vitamin C, such as orange and guava, to protect yourself from cold. Stop smoking or being a passive smoker because it leads to cancer, causing death. Thank you for watching the video and pay attention to every detail in it. And like I said, try to pronounce the hard words after I say it. And keep in mind the next video will be questions, so study both of the lessons well.